All right, thanks, guys. Welcome to the show. We are currently 35-12-2 in our last 49 daily double picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also currently hitting 68% for the college football season. If you want to check out that information, simply click in the description section below. The website's right there. It is patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, we do have ourselves a very abbreviated, very modified slate of NHL action here today, so let's go ahead and get into it. Beginning with the Blue Jackets taking on the Maple Leafs. And that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Toronto. The Maple Leafs are minus 190, total 6.5. Not a whole lot of movement on that money line. Pretty good two-way action with regard to the sides. We did see a little bit of movement upward on the total. Once again, Toronto's minus 190, total open 6, up to 6.5. 73% of the consensus are leaning toward Toronto, 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are plus 160 on the money line. Toronto plus $1.10, laying the goal and a half. Now, if you like CBJ in this matchup here, they have successfully covered the puck line in 2 out of their last 3 on the road. They're also 6th in offensive shots when traveling, 7th in shots allowed. They've also successfully, they were victorious in 8 out of their last 11 contests in Toronto. Now, the Maple Leafs on the other side, they are just 3-7 in their last 10 games, taking on the Metropolitan Division. They are also just 2-4 ATS at home, and of course, when I refer to ATS, the spread covering, I'm referring to the puck line. So once again, Toronto just 2-4 ATS at home, 28th in goals allowed at home as well. And when it comes to the total, Toronto 6-3 to the over for the year, 4-2 to the over at home. I'm going to lean Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, it is going to be Golden Knights taking on the Flyers, 7 o'clock Philadelphia. The Golden Knights are minus 125, total 6.5. Saw a 10-cent move toward Vegas, movement upward on the total. The Golden Knights open $1.15 up to 125, total open 6 up to 6.5. 68% of the consensus are leaning Golden Knights, 53% shaded toward the under. Right now, Phillies plus $1.10 on the money line. Golden Knights plus 200 on the puck line. Vegas is 6-3 straight up overall for the year, 3-1 straight up on the road. They are 8th in road scoring, 3-1 ATS when traveling. Philly on the other side, winners in just 2 out of 6 overall for the year. They are 20th in scoring, 1-6 straight up in their last 7, taking on the Western Conference. Now, total-wise, Philly is 4-2 to the under for the season. Vegas 3-1 to the under on the road. I'm going to lean Golden Knights minus 125 and the under 6.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and once again welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Monday's NHL action. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead and get this week started off right. Now, before we go ahead and move on, just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily plays on that website. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages, beginning at just $1.99 per month. You can also access my current record right there on Patreon. It's on the homepage. Don't even have to sign up for anything, where we are 35-12-2 in our last 49 daily double picks. We're also hitting at 68% for the college football season. Once again, link for that website is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Avalanche taking on the Blues, 8 o'clock St. Louis. The Blues are 135, total at 6. Not a whole lot of movement on this total, but we did see a 20-cent move toward the Blues with regard to the sides. St. Louis opened $1.15 all the way up to 135. Totals at 6. 52% are leaning toward St. Louis. 70% are shaded toward the over. Right now, the Avalanche are plus 120 on the money line. St. Louis plus $2, laying the goal and a half. Now, St. Louis has won just 3 out of 8 3 out of 8 matchups this year. They're just 3-2-3 on the season. Winners in just 1 out of 4 matchups at home this year. They've lost their last 4 straight. 0-4 straight up in their last 4 games. 24th in home scoring, 21st in goals allowed. Now, Colorado on the other side, they are 7-0-1 for the season, 3-0-1 away from home. They rank 2nd in scoring on average per game. Now, total-wise, Colorado is 5-2-1 to the over. They're also 3-1 to the over when traveling. I'm going to take the road dog in this one. Give me Colorado plus $1.20 in the over. 6 goals in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Senators, Stars, 8:30 Dallas. The Stars are 210, totals at 6. No movement on the total. We did see a 10-cent fade of Dallas in the early wagering. The Stars open 220, down to 210, totals at 6. 71% are leaning Dallas, 72% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Senators are plus 180 on the money line. Dallas plus $1.25 on the puck line. Now, Dallas is just 2-7-1 overall for the year, winless at home, 0-5-1 as the favorite. Dallas also ranks dead last in scoring on average per game. Now, Ottawa on the other side, they are 5-1 straight up in their last 6 head-to-head matchups with Dallas. They also rank 11th in offensive shots on the road. Now, total-wise, Ottawa's 4-3 to the under. Dallas 7-3 to the under thus far in the year. 3-0 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Ottawa plus 1.5 and the under 6 goals in that game. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the Senators plus 1.5 under 6 goals. Colorado plus 120 over 6 goals. Vegas Golden Knights minus 125 under 6.5. Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 over 6.5. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our shout-outs brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Renarino RMZ, T-Queen 420. Got to give a shout out to Stephen Lewis, good friend of mine. Actually became good friends with Steve right here on the on YouTube, right here on the internet. Steve's a great guy. He loves sports betting. Steve is actually just outstanding. He's excellent at these very exotic parlays. He'll combine major U.S. sports, international sports, tennis, badminton. He's very creative and very successful with his parlays. And you guys can check Steve out on Twitter at SeriousWinners2. And like I said, Steve is a good friend of mine. We became friends just through this channel. And he's a very serious sports handicapper and a great guy, very respectful guy. And if you guys want to shout out, if you want to plug for your own content, I would highly suggest you follow Steve's example because he is a perfect example of just being a great guy, good friend, and getting things done through kindness and appreciation. So Steve, thanks for commenting. Great to see you in the comments section, and best of luck to you today in your plays. Speaking of that, got to give a shout out to Rick Cruz, who has a channel of his own that is Rick's Picks. So if you see Rick Cruz commenting, go ahead and click that button. Rick has a channel of his own, and it's called Rick's Picks. And once again, thank you, Rick, for just being a gentleman and cordially requesting that I plug your channel, man. I have no problem. Happy to do it. Shout out to Hustle Wilson. Great to see Hustle Wilson. Always good to see my man Hustle in the comments section. Shout out to my man Irv Thornton. Great to see you, Irv. Ross Kuehl, Mark Beauchamp, Justin Grant, East Up Lou. Once again, Justin Grant, loyal fan of the channel. Always very active in the comments section. Great loyal listener. So shout out to Justin Grant. Got to give a shout out to Ronnie Christie, Jason Felix, who that's another great guy, loyal commenter. Always see Jason Felix in the comments section. Shout out to Jason Felix, very good guy there. Shout out to Vinny Smooth. Once again, one of my good friends just through this channel. Great guy. Got to give a shout out to Vinny Smooth, Joe Morris, Mike Wilkerson, who just celebrated a birthday last week, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Ken Cunningham, my man Ken. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently 35-12-2 in our last 49 daily double picks on that site. We're also hitting at 68% for the college football season on that site as well. It's a website where we do daily plays. We have a bunch of different memberships, packages, and tiers, beginning at just $1.99 per month. Now, this college football package, we're hitting 68%. That's $14.99 a month. So right now you are up a whole bunch of units if you subscribe to that at the beginning of the year. Now, we're just beyond the halfway point, so there's certainly plenty of time to get on board. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. You can actually access my current record right on the homepage, and you don't have to pay for that. That is just free and open to anybody who wants to take a look at that. And once again, link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank each and every one of you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I certainly enjoy producing it for you day in and day out on a daily basis. It's something I look forward to. It's I got a full-time job aside from this. I got a family, wife, and a kid, and this is just all equally as important. My family's one. This channel is two, bar none. It's something I enjoy to do. I love connecting with you guys, and this is something that is definitely unique. It's definitely special, and it's all because of you loyal listeners. You guys are fantastic. So anyway, shout out to you. Thank you so much, and I love producing all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Monday to you guys. Best of luck to you. And as always, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.